This is a tale of three young masters. That guy in the middle there, that's me, Scott Pilkington. I was the youngest master when I got mine from Figa in 1989, and I was probably younger by close to 18 years or more. And I held that title probably 11, 12 years or so, and then a man a year younger than me at the time, who coincidentally enough had been one of my engraving students at GRS back in the day, he beat me by about a year. That's Jason Marchiafava, who's there on the right of me. So he held the youngest title for a good number of years, and then in January of 2018, Thomas Galloway on my left here, he beat Jason by about 6 months. And so Jason was traveling through Tennessee, and we stopped over in Arrington, Tennessee, where Jason works at the New Approach Jewelry School, and got this little photo of the three of us made together, and I put together some snippets of Jason and Thomas and some of the things they've done and said and some neat things they've got. We're going to look at some of Jason's stuff first and a little shop visit, but Jason just put out a great new video on engraving, and I would suggest you look for it here. His website is jfava.com, and I would strongly encourage this video. And anyway, let's take a look and see what's going on with something with Jason's bench.
So this is it's a fly tying workbench, and I ordered off eBay. I think it was about $40 when I bought it. I just didn't add all of the pegs. It came with a peg, a little vise, like ball joint type deal, and it's literally probably the best thing that I've ever bought. It just so happened to be that my collets fit in the holes, stock out of the box.
Oh, really? You didn't have to drill?
No, I didn't drill anything.
Wow.
It's got these little slots for, I keep my gold wire in it. Gemstones, of course, when I'm setting. I got jaws and whatnot, but fit under it really, really nice. I can raise it and I can lower it, of course with the crank handle, but man, it's perfect. It's perfect for what I use it for. I drilled that hole. That's about it.
Your brass key.
Mounted up my stuff, but it holds everything. All my burnishers, hand engravers, scribes. It's been perfect. This little inset, this 3 or 4 inch dip, is for the vise top.
It's the right height, and you got a place to rest your elbows, and
really
that's
great.
phenomenal. That's really cool. I'm gonna buy one of those.
Yeah. And I just bolted it up under on the existing drill press. Yep. So what I did was I just flipped this whole thing. I took off this, I wheeled it off, flipped the whole thing upside down because the base used to be on the top, and I just put this back on, basically upside down.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you, Jason.
Oh, no problem, man. Just don't check. Give me a few minutes, I don't remember. It might have been these. Try these two. I think those two work.
Oh, that helps a lot. Wow. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That one's special.
Yeah.
It's a statue on top of the Capitol building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I expect any minute my folks will say, well, I'm out of memory. It's just amazing.
For me, the scale, level of detail, when you get up close, because they only use a 3.5 power loop, and it's big. It's a big handheld loop.
Mm-hmm. Just phenomenal. Makes any difference there. Old George. That is a national treasure right there, no doubt.
Yeah.
And now, we head over to the 2018 Engraving to listen to what Thomas Galloway has to say.
So I'll do a little demo, kind of how I work. It's maybe strange for most of you. Some of the old timers might remember this, but I'll be the young kid on the block showing you the old way of doing it.
2 years and you got a master, huh?
That's what they tell me.
Right. And you're still doing it with hammer and chisel?
Yeah, I don't have any power.
Oh, come home with me, young man. Send you back a whole new human being. That's cool, man.
So the first question, I'll just preemptively cut this one off at the head because I know everybody's going to ask what tool I'm using, what are my angles, all of that. So I use 90s. That's all I use for my main cuts. I sharpen it.
You are cheap.
Just like that. I think Sam Alfano kind of talked about this in one of his videos.
I got
He uses just a piece of drill rod, and I just guess. I set it about 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch out. And if it doesn't cut right, then I resharpen it. The important thing about hammer and chisel, Scott I know does it different. He has a footwheel, or he did have a footwheel.
Yeah.
He would sit down, but I'm still young. I can walk around a little bit. Can you hear me better now?
Is that an engraver tool holder? That square?
This is a GRS chisel. I make most of my own chisels now, but
I mean the
this is-
holder that your engraver's in.
No, it's a GRS collet. Yeah, just a quick change.
Quick change, moving up a little. Getting that trick stuff. Standing that way.
I notice you're cutting scrolls both direction.
Left and right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I cut both ways.
yeah, that's good. I just see this question all the time on the internet like it's some big deal, and I'm like, what difference does it make? It's a circle. Just cut it. I come out of one scroll, whatever the closest one is, I go to it and start following it.
Just follow the damn lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before I had a vise that I could walk around, what I would actually do is I would, because I didn't want to, I was cheap with my time too, I didn't want to turn my vise, so I would cut this arc and then cut back to meet it, and then cut all of my scrolls in sections, which is, I guess, tedious, but, so, I mean, that's basically how I do it.
Why do you have your workpiece at an angle instead of parallel to the ground?
To catch the light, mostly.
I was wondering that myself, Mark.
But I guess you could do it parallel, but it's more exciting if I'm walking around doing this.
Does it help you with your dance moves as well, with all that stretching and?
It keeps me limber.
Drive your lines or draw them with a pencil?
I typically draw everything directly on my work with a pencil, and then once I have it set, then I come in and scribe it, and then as I cut, then I scribble things out and adjust and change what I want. And,
Who's your optometrist?
my designs, I like to keep my designs very fluid typically. When I lay something out, I'll go through and cut very lightly, very, very lightly, so that if I want to change something, I can come back and burnish it out. And so my design is pretty much not set until I'm done. Even as I'm relieving stuff, if I want to change the shape of something, I will. Any other questions?
What are you using to do your relief work?
I widen everything with the square, and then I like to use an anglette with a flat heel on it, so that I have kind of the tapered sides. And then I'm very picky about my corners when I do relief, and so I come back with like a 30-degree V and clean up my corners and make those perfect. So if that's it, then anybody's welcome to try this if they want.
Are you doing this as your occupation now, or?
Not yet, we're working towards that.
Okay.
And, I don't do this full time at the moment.
Are you selling some of your work?
I sell a little bit. I don't market a whole lot. Up until now, I've been focused just on making it sellable.
What do you like to do most, firearms or your buckles?
No, I don't do any jewelry anymore. I do firearms, and we're getting into knives a little bit now, but mostly guns at this point.
That word of mouth is the best thing you got going, man.
Well, it's a good thing you're so good at running your mouth.
Come on up, I'll give you the game. That was a good one. I love that. Damn. Right up on his He's got it going. He's got it going.
If you don't make it as an engraver, you'll do fine as a stand-up.
Yeah, you got it. You're from the bad, obviously. Get out in that desert.
Well, that's all I have if there's no more questions.
Well, tell us about your future plans. What are you doing right now?
Well, right now we are...
And that's his lovely wife, Brandy, sitting back there in the staircase.
She's very patient with the tap, tap, tap at 3 in the morning. Right now we're just en route to Arkansas, where we just bought a house, and we're going to set up a business. And
We're part of Arkansas.
We're headed to Searcy.
Where?
Searcy.
Where's that by?
North of Little Rock.
You're right in the neighborhood. I could come down there and run my mouth.
You're gonna be out of town that week, aren't you?
I'll find out where you live.
Well, on second thought, we're
Huh?
actually moving to Fayetteville.
Right on. I'll hunt you down.
So yeah, we're trying to switch over and get more focus on this, start marketing more, and make some money doing it eventually.
So you can buy 2 hammers.
So I can get a new hammer.
I ain't done running my mouth.
You know, when I started out, I'm a mechanic by trade, and so when I started out, I didn't have any tools, so I took, you know, old punches, old chisels, cold chisels, and cut those into chisels, and they were, I mean, huge. And I didn't grind my tips any finer than about a 1/4 inch around, and I was using like the smallest ball peen hammer that I had, which is like 8 ounces. So
you got wrist of steel, then.
yeah, I could dig pretty deep pretty quickly if I wanted to. That's about it. I have a few things back there that you're welcome to look at if you're interested in.
What advice would you give to somebody starting out? We got a lot of beginners out there. What would you tell them you'd do different?
I don't know as I would do much different. I would recommend that other people do things different, because I don't do things like other people do things. You know, I never took any courses, and from what I've heard from most other people, those have been very helpful for them. I don't like to be told what to do, so I didn't take any courses.
How much did Scott help you on your journey?
Scott helped me a fair amount. You know, like I said, he gave me some advice while I was here, and then a few times after that, I would send him pictures and give him a phone call, and we would talk about things, and he would, you know, rip it apart and tell me what to do right.
He'll do that.
Was there tears after these phone calls, Brandy?
Not enough.
No.
So I would say Scott helped me, you know, about as much as anybody helped me, but I didn't live at his house for 5 months, so.
Yeah, he's making it a comedian.
All righty. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.